Senior Cabinet Ministers are standing by the Attorney-General Christian Porter this morning, who insists he won't be stepping down after his tearful denial of a rape allegation. Mr Porter yesterday revealed himself to be the Cabinet Minister at the centre of the allegation that dates back to 1988. He says the alleged incident simply did not happen and he's now taking leave to deal with his mental health, but insisting he won't be stepping down.
The government wants Mr Porter's statement to be the end of the matter, but calls remain for an independent inquiry. And the spotlight is also back on Defence Minister Linda Reynolds this morning. She is not denying a report that she referred to former staffer Brittany Higgins as a lying cow over her separate rape allegation against a Liberal staffer. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg joins us now from Parliament House. Good morning, Treasurer. Thanks for being on the program.
Good morning, Lisa. Nice to be with you.
Can I start with those comments reportedly made by Linda Reynolds this morning? Do you think that's appropriate language?
Well, firstly, she hasn't said that she has said those comments that have been...
She hasn't denied them.
Well, she put out a statement which made it very clear that at no stage has she challenged Brittany Higgins' version of events. It's been, those comments that you're referring to have been reported, but that's not what is contained in Linda Reynolds' statements. No doubt you and other media commentators will ask her those questions when she returns from leave.
So, well, you'd be hoping she'd be clarifying those comments as soon as possible, surely, given the context in which they've reportedly been said.
Well, again, if you look at her statement, it makes it very clear that at no stage has she challenged Brittany Higgins' version of events. And as Linda has told the Parliament previously, at every stage, she has thought that she has been acting in the best interests of Brittany Higgins, providing the support that is needed.
You'd be disturbed, though, surely, if the words lying cow were used to refer to Brittany Higgins.
Well, again, I'm not going to speculate on speculation. That's what's been reported, but that's not what Linda Reynolds has said.
The last time you were on this program, Michael asked you, in fact, whether you believed Brittany Higgins. You said you did. Do you still believe Brittany Higgins?
Well, I mean, in terms of what has happened to Brittany Higgins, I absolutely do believe her. But the point being, those matters are in the hands of the police where they need to be. But again, every victim of sexual assault needs to have their voice heard and needs to feel comfortable in actually putting their case. But it's not for me to really say whether I believe one person or another. These issues are very serious criminal matters, and it's up to the police to be the ones who ascertain the veracity of the particular facts in question.
So do you believe Christian Porter?
Well, the same applies there. My answer is the same, which is that it's up to the police to ascertain the veracity of the facts in that particular case. The police are the only body, Lisa, who are authorised to deal with such serious criminal matters, and in the case of the New South Wales Police, they have spoken. They have said that the matter is closed. Yesterday you saw an emphatic denial from Christian Porter at his press conference and in his statement. In the glare of the nation's media and the glare of the Australian public, he's entitled to the presumption of innocence, as any citizen in this country is entitled to, and he has the Prime Minister's support and he has my support.
Well, why not embrace an independent inquiry and then clear this up? Because you say the case is closed. There's certainly a lot of people who disagree with you about whether this is actually a police matter or not. So I hear what you're saying, but there's a lot of people who disagree with this. Why not support an independent investigation and clear it up then?
Well, you've got a very serious allegation of criminal conduct, so that automatically becomes a matter for the police. And the police have looked into it.
They didn't speak to Christian Porter, though.
But they made a statement based on the evidence that was available to them, and they said that the matter is closed. I want to point out, Lisa, that there have been allegations against members in this place before, serious allegations, and at that time there was a bipartisan approach where matters were referred to the police. The police said that the matters were closed, and then that was the end of it.
If you're talking about the Bill Shorten case, and Christian Porter did raise that yesterday, so we don't need to be coy about the name, that was a lengthy police investigation. He was actually spoken to and questioned by police. You can't compare the two.
Well, that is a matter for the police as to how they conduct their investigations. But the principle is the same, which is that it's the police who have the final say about the particular matter in question. And at that time, there were no calls across the political divide for an independent inquiry. There were no calls for the person in question to stand down from their role. There was bipartisan support for the method and the process that was adopted. And the same principle should be applied here.
Treasurer, at the end of the day, all of this is taking oxygen away from what would have otherwise been good news for you today, which is the GDP. So while the government might think that this is closed and over, this very conversation today in the front pages of the newspapers shows that it's not.
Well, I won't deny the fact that yesterday's economic data was overshadowed by those events. But from my perspective and the Prime Minister's perspective, we have a responsibility to the Australian people to get out and roll out the vaccine and to ensure that Australia's economic recovery maintain its momentum. And yesterday we saw the GDP numbers for the December quarter with economic growth at 3.1%. This is the first time in Australia's history since records began back in 1959 that we have had 2 consecutive quarters of economic growth above 3%. And what was particularly pleasing, Lisa, in yesterday's numbers is that it's the private sector that is helping to lead this recovery.
Yeah, but Qantas is saying it could well sack more people, so it's two-speed recovery. I mean, you've got real problems ahead, and when are we going to learn about what might replace or help these particular specific industries like tourism once JobKeeper's gone? When are you going to let us know?
Well, we are working through particular initiatives in that respect and with respect to the aviation sector that you just referred to. And we recognise that some sectors and regions are doing it tough. But as I was saying, what is particularly pleasing about the numbers yesterday is that it is a broad-based recovery and that we have seen right across the country people coming off JobKeeper. Around 2.7 million Australians have come off JobKeeper. And even as the economic support from the federal government halved in the December quarter compared to the period prior, we still saw 320,000 jobs being created and 3.1% GDP growth. And it's the private sector, whether it's dwelling investment, business investment or household consumption, that is driving this economic recovery. And Australia has outperformed every other major advanced economy in the world. That is a source of great pride for 25 million Australians because it's been the work of 25 million Australians that has contributed to this result.
Treasurer, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.